Hare Krishna. So, where have you reached? Win online join किया. चालू केलं मी recording. कोई तुला कम टाकलं नाही. नाही, बटन switch on this light. Flash button. So, pray for Prathamesh. He is getting engaged today. Much doesn't go for engagement. Okay, can I see all the Vaishnavas online? I can see offline devotees. Are glimpse of Rishikesh flow. You can wear t-shirt or kurta quickly and then come. No problem. Can I see Tejas, Govind, Ayush, Soham?
प्रभूजी माझा नेटचा इश्यू आहे. मी व्हिडिओ ऑन केला तर मला काहीच कळणार नाही क्लासमध्ये काय चाललंय.
Okay, let me see your face at least. Tejas, show me your face. Good morning.
कॅमेराचा इश्यू आहे.
Ayush doesn't speak also, doesn't show his face also. Ayush, come out. Govinda? Govinda in Govinda. Yes, Ayush. Fine. I'm waiting. Till the time you all don't show their faces, I think we should stop. We will not move ahead. So, we have reached till which verse of first chapter? I think 15. Devotees versus Ganges. We discussed about it. Okay, verse number 16. O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas water of the Ganges can sanctify only after the prolonged use. So we saw the example of Kundalik, and we saw the example of Ganga Yamuna Saraswati. For Kundalik, talking to them and understanding the importance of spiritual master, and but understanding the getting association of a pure devotee. And how the association of pure devotee, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Bhai, can completely free oneself from all the sins and be at once purified by their association. Further, there is an explanation about who is there desiring a deliverance. Whoever who is desiring a deliverance from all the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord. Kova Bhagavatastasya. I think we discussed about this verse also. We discussed on verse 16 also. Punya shloke hi karmana. Suddhi bhakamo na sunaya. Yashakali malapamaham. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vice of age of quarrel? Who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? So we discussed that. Who are these people who are not interested to hear the glories of the Lord? And who is there who is not desiring to deliver himself from the age of quarrel? So those devotees who are amazing, whose association is very important. And after knowing that they can at once purify, a person will surely desire for deliverance from all the vices of age of quarrel and hypocrisy. We discussed about how this age is age of color, quarrel and hypocrisy. And we also discussed about when one must take great interest in hearing the glories of the Lord. Verse number 17. तस्य कर्मानुदाराणि परिगीतानि सुहृदि गृहीण श्रद्धधानानां लीलया तद्दतः कलाः. His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please, therefore, speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. So here comes the question number 4. Describe Lord's adventure, which in his various incarnations. So Lord's adventure in various incarnations is Purusha Avatar. Okay, what is Purusha Avatar? Last time we discussed. Did we discuss about Purusha Avatar last time?
Yes, we discussed about all the avatars.
We discussed about all the avatars. So what is Purusha Avatar?
The Supreme Person.
Okay, let's have a homework. You have to study all the avatars, and there I should know the personalities, their names also. Okay. For example, there is Leela Avatar. What is Leela Avatar? And you have to quote the examples: Rama, Balarama, Varaha, Narasimha, Krishna. These are Leela Avatars. These and many others, the Leela Avatars. And similarly, there are Purusha Avatars, and there are Guna Avatars, and XYZ. There are many avatars. Okay? So this is your homework to note down everything. So according to Srila Jiva Goswami, where it is said the adventurous incarnation, adventurous activities of a various incarnations. So Jiva Goswami Pad says that this is nothing but the description of Purusha Avatar. And that's why here this is a description of a Purusha Avatar which is asked. So previously when it was asked, please tell us the glorious pastime of Krishna. That was a direct question. Because before that there was a question of why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva? And next question was that please explain us his various pastimes. Now again, why are they asking again the same various pastimes? Can be also a question. And that's why here Jiva Goswami Pad is making it clear that they are asking about not the Leela Avatar, they are asking about Purusha Avatar. Okay, in the Leela Avatar also they were very specific about knowing the glorious activities of Krishna. Here also they are interested to know about the transcendental act and magnificent and gracious and the great learned sage Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventure he performs in his various incarnations. So apart from Krishna, there are various avatars he takes. So please tell us about those avatars. Is the homework clear?
Yes.
Please read the purport.
Yes.
The personality of Godhead is never inactive, as some less intelligent person suggests. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Srila Narada, Vyasa, Valmiki, Devala, Asita, Madhava, Sri Chaitanya Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkar, Sridhara, Vishwanath, Baldev, Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty, and knowledge. But the spiritual realm is more magnificent, being full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be likened to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality, and they take it for granted that the false manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent man, guided by sages like Vyasa and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom is God is larger and eternally full of goodness and power. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventure and incarnation, wherein he displays the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. By such activities, he attracts the conditioned soul of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in false enjoyment of the material sense, and others simply negating the real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis, or fruity workers, and jnanis, or dry mental speculators. But above these two classes of man, the transcendental is known as sattvata, or the devotee who is busy neither with rampant material activities nor with material speculation. He is engaged in positive service of the Lord, and thereby derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and jnanis. With the supreme control of the both material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prathu, Vyasa, and his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, and Vamana are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes.
Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam, cause of all causes. So he's the fountainhead of, he's the prominent, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and all other incarnation comes from him. Prabhupada is very clear. And then Prabhupada is talking here about Guna Avatar and Leela Avatars in the last paragraph. Before that, Prabhupada is making it very clear that Krishna comes and performs many different activities in many different avatars to attract a conditioned soul towards him. Because otherwise conditioned soul is completely engrossed in the sense gratification. They are called as karmis. Or there are jnanis who are trying to speculate. Those dry speculators or karmis are cannot understand the or cannot reach or cannot get delivered. And that's why Krishna comes in. The very first statement in the paragraph is Krishna is not an ordinary person. There's a difference between an ordinary person and Krishna, and that's why he performs. The word is magnificent and gracious activity. So his transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious. So if somebody is thinking himself a god, he should be performing at least a magnificent and gracious activity. And those magnificent activities means they're actually magnificent, like lifting Govardhan. Lifting Govardhan on the most fragile part of our body, that is the lady finger of the left hand, and lifting it for 7 days, 7 nights, 7 into 24, and without any pain. That's very, very important. Okay, nice. So here comes the fourth question, that please describe us about the activities, adventurous activities. Purusha Avatar. So question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, and this is question number 4. Can somebody quickly recollect, remind us about the 4 questions? Anyone? Prem Charu, can you tell us? Any one question at least you can tell, Prem Charu? So here we are discussing about the 6 questions of the sages. The first, second, third, and fourth question we have discussed. We want to know which are those 4 questions. Yes, Krishna.
The first question was, what is the absolute good for all the people in general?
What is absolute good for all the people in general? A very important question. The compassion of
Ultimate good, not absolute good.
Okay, can you please explain us the difference between ultimate and absolute?
Prabhuji, it is ultimate written in the book, therefore I just said ultimate should be the word. We should read as it is now.
Yeah, when I was explaining about the absolute, I explained about absolute also. Because these sages are not just asking for a temporary benefit of this material world, they are asking for the spiritual benefit, which is related to the absolute. Okay.
Second question was, there are many varieties of scriptures and all have many duties which can be learned after many years of study. Please explain the essence of all the scriptures that give us complete satisfaction given us for the complete satisfaction of all living entities.
Okay.
That was the second question.
Understood second question?
What?
There is not one Purana.
Please explain us because they are glorifying Sutta Goswami here, Vedantist. You are expert, you are a knower of the Veda. So please tell us the conclusion of all the Vedas. Conclusion of all various scriptures.
For the satisfaction of
All living.
For the satisfaction of all the living entities. So please tell us the conclusion of Vedas for the satisfaction of all the living entities, so that they don't have to jump from here and there. Okay, nice. Second.
Third, no? Third was,
Third.
why did the Lord take birth in the womb of Devaki?
Why did Lord took birth in the womb of Devaki and Vasudeva? And that's why 10th canto is very, very important for this question. At the same time, the affliction of Parikshit Maharaj. At the same time, the very first statement, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, explains us that this is about Krishna. Then fourth question. Anyone else from the present duty?
Cosmic creation.
Cosmic creation?
No.
Adventures
What
of
are
the
the
Lords and
wonderful-
his incarnations.
So there are magnificent and gracious adventures activities performed by the Lord. Please explain us about those adventurous activities of the Lord and his different incarnations. Okay. Now we are going to.
लेकिन वो तो फिफ्थ था।
Yes.
तो जो आपने बताया लॉर्ड इंकारनेशन वो तो फिफ्थ पॉइंट है, फिफ्थ क्वेश्चन था, लेकिन फोर्थ क्वेश्चन तो क्रिएशन के ऊपर था ना,
नहीं.
क्रिएटिंग मेंटेनेंस एंड डिस्ट्रक्शन।
So that is we never discussed about creation, maintenance, and destruction. That we discussed about the Guna Avtaras. So that was not a question we asked by the sages. What you're saying we discussed last time about Guna Avtaras.
नहीं मीन्स मुझे एक्चुअली इतना याद नहीं आ रहा हम क्या डिस्कस किए थे, लेकिन मैं उसमें देखा बुक्स में, तो उसमें कॉस्मिक क्रिएशन था फोर्थ क्वेश्चन।
No. Fourth question is very clear. That is verse number 17. That explains the transcendental acts which are magnificent and gracious. Okay. Now we are going to question number 5.
No, fourth question is about Lord's adventures while in creation, and fifth question is about the Leela Avtaras, basically the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which he performed in Vrindavan.
So
No, he was telling about that, so I got confused. So this is true, na? मतलब ऐसा ही है ना?
it is very, very clear. It is about Purusha Avtaras. Purusha Avtaras, when I said, I clearly mentioned that it is about describing the adventurous transcendental activities of different incarnations. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, bro. Yes.
Question number, text number 18. अथाख्या ही हरे धीमन अवतार कथा शुभा लीला विद्यतः सवैरम ईश्वरात्ममाया. O wise Sutta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastime of the Lord, Supreme Lord, pastime of the Supreme Godhead, multi-incarnation. Such a auspicious adventures and pastime of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his internal powers. So this is about Leela Avataras. So, as I said, that this Purusha Avatar, Leela Avatar, Guna Avatar, Shaktavish Avatar, all these avatars are very important. And all these incarnations will be discussed throughout Bhagavatam. Like we saw last time, the example of Prithu Maharaj. Who is Prithu Maharaj? Who falls in which category? When we were discussing about Vyasadeva. No. We discussed about Prithu Maharaj. Did we discuss about Prithu Maharaj?
Yes.
Please take this homework very, very seriously. Everybody has to submit their papers. if you want to have next mental meeting. So we discuss about Prithu Maharaja's Shaktavesh avatar. Okay. So there is a discussion of Prithu Maharaja's Shaktavesh avatar, or we will see there are many discussions about Guna avatars coming. There are many discussions which will come about Purusha avatars, how this cosmic creation is happening, how this whole world is moving towards. Then we'll also discuss about there will be always a obviously discussion about different leelas, the Simha or Varaha Leela, that is described in a great detail. And then obviously about the Krishna, a little bit of Lord Rama is described. So the point is all these avatars will be discussed, and that's why these two questions are going to describe in great details the whole Bhagavatam. Okay. Yeah, this is another question. First question was about explain us about Purusha avatar. Now second question is about explain us about Leela avatars. Narrate the transcendental pastime of Lord's multi-incarnation is the question. Oh, I Sutta Goswami, please narrate to us the transcendental pastime of the Supreme God, Person Godhead in multi-incarnation. Hare Krishna. हो शंभर तो अर्जंट काढला तर रूम आज पुन्हा येत इथं माझ्या ऑफिसमध्ये मी देतो तुम्हाला ऑफिसमध्ये Okay. Please read the purport.
Purport. There is a great difference between mundane stories, fictions, or history and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The histories of the whole universe contain references to the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are histories of bygone ages, recorded in the connection with the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated reading. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagwatam repeatedly throughout his whole life, and yet find in them new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. Inasmuch as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static, those
18 verses going on.
18th is that's what I was also saying.
For the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the For the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself appears in many thousands of forms of incarnations, and the specific adventures found in those transcendental forms are all auspicious. Both those who are present during such activities and those who hear the transcendental narrations of such activities are benefited.
So it is very, very important for us to hear regularly. Then only we will get benefited. Yesterday I was attending one of the class of Krishna Group in one of the DT welcoming. And then when Prabhuji was discussing, because it was a DT welcoming, so it was related to DT. And it was related to different leelas. He discussed about how Radharaman appeared, or he discussed about how Govindji or other DTs transferred to Jaipur, and how DT worship was given importance by different acharyas. He spoke about Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he spoke about Jiva Goswami, he spoke about so many other leelas. Radha Goswami and Radha Madan Mohan, and he that leela of asking for salt. So when he was discussing, I have heard all those parts, but it was such a rejuvenating, or it was like recharging or reminding ourselves. So that's why this statement is very important, that these narrations are very much beneficial for those who are in the pastime or those who are hearing the pastime. So there are many transcendental activities, and that's how all the discussion about different avatars of Krishna which are described is going to be very much beneficial. So what is the ultimate benefit? The absolute beneficial thing for the living entities in general. And second question is about essence of all the scriptures and for the benefit of all the living. It is again, why did Lord appear in the womb of Devaki? Then about Purusha Avataras, and then about Leela. Okay, good. Then further, verse number 19, we'll see that how this hearing is not boring. Hearing is always, so it is not, there is no satiation, there is no saturation, there is no dissatisfaction. It is always very much encouraging. It is always very enthusiastic. And whoever takes pleasure or whoever takes interest in hearing the pastime of God, he is always, happy. So these narrations of the Lord are always very, they are never making a person tired. In fact, what they bring is taste. What they bring is mellow. What they bring is rasa. And just whenever we get rasa, like we take salt, there is some rasa. When we take sweet, there is a lot of rasa. When we take some juices, fruits, or whenever, even if we eat bhakri, chew nicely, and even a roti you chew nicely, there is some special rasa into it. If you just gulp, there is no rasa. You actually take a, and that's why what we say that Prabhuji aapne prasad paya kya, right? In Hindi, and then in English we say, did you honor the prasad? So with the honor means honoring, respecting. Hey, khana khaya kya? It's not like that. It's like honoring, and that's why when you honor someone, you take interest into it. So similarly, we have to take interest in hearing Krishna Katha. When we take interest in hearing Krishna Katha, we will get taste. So let's see the verse number 19. It is about no satiation. Vayam tu na vayam tu na vitrupyama.
Vayam tu na vitrupyama.
Uttama shloka vikrame.
Uttama shloka vikrame.
Yashrunutam rasajnanam.
Yachrinvatam rasavjnanam.
Swadu swadu pade pade.
Swadu swadu pade pade.
Where is this word swadu comes?
Three Musketeers.
What is it? Govind, come here. We discussed about this last time, that's why I'm asking this. Word swadam comes in one of the daily prayers. Swad kaha tha? Prabhuji, humko to gulab jamun hai.
Swadanolupastya.
Yes, where does it come? Swad. Where is Mangalarti? Be specific. We discussed
Guna
about
Rupa Leela. त्या वर्षामध्ये येतात.
क्या होता है मंगलारती? क्या माधुर्य लीला?
प्रतीक्षणा
कृष्णा गोमन माधुर्य लीला.
श्री राधिका माधव योरपार माधव योरपार माधुर्य लीला.
श्री राधिका माधव योरपार माधुर्य लीला गुण रूप नामना प्रतीक्षणा स्वागतरूपस्य वंदे गुरु श्री. Everybody is the expert parrot. Popat is the guy. Right? So this word swadana lolupasya, that a spiritual master who takes great swad. Similarly, this word swadu swadu pade pade is very important. Okay, what is exactly? Relishing and palatable at every step. So this pade pade word also comes in another verse in Srimad Bhagwatam. This is very tasty, very melodious, very melodious. But then another verse which talks is dangerous. Padam padam yasvi padam. In every step there is danger. But here, swadu swadu pade pade, you can release. It's very, very palatable. It's very tasty. Where every step, you walk into a marriage, then you see, there is pani puri and bel puri and jal puri, and then there is, all Italian, and then there is continental, and then there is, all favorite Chinese, and then you happen to see everything very nice without owning garlic offered to Krishna, basically Krishna Prasad. And every step there is so tasty thing. You can even now understand what is this Sadhu Sadhu. So that relishable is the Srimad Bhagavatam. That relishable is Krishna Katha. Only thing is that we have to be enthusiastic to hear. If we are not enthusiastic here, we will never find it relishable. We'll always find it boring. Kab khatam hoga? That will be the question. So it depends on the interest of a follower. And it has. So Vayam tu na Vityutama Uttama Shloka Vikrame. Uttama Shloka refers to Srimad Bhagavatam, the glorious Uttama. Uttama is great. Shloka, the glorification of Lord. So it is Uttama Shloka is the personality of Godhead who is glorified by transcendental prayers. Krishna is also called as the Uttama Shloka. You must have heard the name like Uttama Shloka Das. Uttama Shloka means that personality who is glorified with the great prayer. And that's why he is known as Uttama Shloka. So Uttama Shloka Vikrame, adventure. So the question which was asked was what? What was the previous question which is this? Huh?
Online आता
हाँ?
online आता किती
ऐकायला द्यायला पाहिजे ना.
फार वेळ लागला उत्तर द्यायला. गोविंद स्वागत. Every step in Govinda gives us a lot of pleasure. Hopefully, it is only Govinda. What was the question, Jitendra? So, please tell us about the beautiful leelas, activities of different incarnations, different leelas. So, why they want to hear? That also they are making it very clear. So they are making it very clear that because those leelas, because that hearing of Krishna's transcendental activity, it does not make us tired. Because it is the glorification of Uttama Shloka, the great personality which is glorified by great shlokas. So please explain his adventures. Yat Shunvatam, Rasajnanam, Yat Shunvatam, wo sunne se, Shunvatam, sunne se. Yat Shunvatam, Rasajnanam, we get rasa. We find mellows. And what is that rasa? Swadu, Swadu, Pade, Pade. It is so relishable, it is so palatable. And when every step it is relishable and palatable. So, and that's what we see in the great pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting with Ramananda Rai on the bank of Kaveri, so there is a place called Pohur, where Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met. And what did they do? Just didn't have a lunch. They did not go for a picnic. Let's dive into Krishna River, Kaveri River, and then have some fun. They sat and discussed on what? Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu they went on discussing for so many weeks just on the Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always asked, please narrate the pastime of Dhruva and Prahlad. And regularly he was hearing, continuously he was hearing. Our Parishit Maharaj was so enthusiastic to hear everything of Srimad Bhagavatam. How much enthusiasm he had? 7 days, 7 nights. Sitting on the bank of Ganges, without sleeping, without eating, without drinking. Why? Because he found it very relishable. He was getting all rasa jnana. He was getting all rasa from hearing the song. So, it is obvious that these pastimes of Krishna will give us rasa. But unfortunately, our rasa comes from what? Somebody else's romance, some violence, right? Unfortunately, I don't know the names of new recent movies that I would have told. What is that? Avara 2. Somebody told me yesterday. Avara 2 has come and I wanted to go and see it. So somebody else is doing some romance, which he is also not enjoying. Here he is also frustrated. And then we take relish into it. It is like 2 hours, 3 hours hooked to the screen and they're not moving from that screen at all. Because if you are getting some rasa in this temporary world, which is not the truth, which is false, from that false also if you are getting rasa, imagine which is a truth, which is absolute, which is about the Supreme Person of Godhead. If we take interest into it, how much rasa we will get? Yes.
तो माझं क्वेश्चन असं असतं की आता तुम्ही रसाविषयी बोलताय थोडं आता आपण नॉर्मल लाईफ मध्ये तुम्ही मूवीज एक्झाम्पल तर मग आपण त्या गोष्टी कशा रिलेट करतो म्हणून आपल्याला एक ट्रस्ट मिळतो माझ्या लाईफ मध्ये या गोष्टी होत्या एक्झॅक्ट तेच प्रेझेंट पण आता आपण स्पिरिच्युअल लाईफ मध्ये या गोष्टी सगळ्या बघितल्या आपण तिथे त्या गोष्टी कशा रिलेट करावं आपल्या लाईफ हा एक भगवान गोष्टी शिकवण्या आहेत किंवा या गोष्टी
Yeah, continue practicing. I understood. Sorry to cut you. So continue practicing. You will surely understand how we do the relation. If you are not practicing continuously, if you are abruptly doing something, randomly doing something, you'll not understand. Like like your question is quite relatable. That I'm not seeing Krishna's pastime. I'm not experiencing Krishna's pastime. How will I develop rasa? So unless and until we go to the America, we will not understand what America is. Unless and until we don't practice something. Like somebody wants to do a skating, and he's seeing skating, hearing the glory. He has to actually go and do the setting. So similarly, I always tell that this Krishna consciousness is such a practical thing. You have to perform this practical, you will surely get the result. How you are performing, how seriously you are performing practical in a laboratory, that is this temple or in an association of devotee, that proper results you will get. So if you want to know, this is very much relatable, practice this Krishna consciousness. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would dance every evening, every night, and do kirtan. And then it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would do kirtan in Shivasana. It was nothing but the Rasa Leela. Now there were no gopis, there was no Krishna, there was no flute being played. They were just singing Hare Krishna, playing Kartar and Mridang and dancing. But they were all as if they are in the Rasa Leela. How they could do this? Because they were performing that for every day. And what were they doing in the daytime? Night it was overnight, so I slept for the whole day. No. In daytime also they are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So unless and until we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, nothing will be understood. Like I'll tell you an example of our temple Rupa Goswami. He has such a great interest in deity worship, such a great attachment. No? Like if he is in Yatra and he will suddenly remember Radha Chandra, Radha Kunji, and even if he may take a stick and start dressing with some whatever cloth he had. Because he's so much absorbed into it. So he's thinking that, oh, I want to dress. So actually, he cannot stay much outside. Even if he goes for Yatra 3, 4, 5 days, he come back. And that's what we'll, otherwise, we all the time we'll see him there. Great attachment. And because of that great attachment, he can understand the mood of deity. He can understand the requirement. And only he can understand. As that is the situation because of his attachment. So, because of that attachment, Krishna will surely reveal. Abruptly, if we try to understand, jump and get into a rasa and then try to perform some activity, which generally in Vrindavan or some other places in Mayapur or in Jagannath Puri, people try to perform, try to imitate Krishna Lila. If we try to do that, we will be nothing but fooled. We will be nothing but put into a trap. So I have seen those people who try to imitate Ras Lila or something like that, or who try to imitate some pastime of Krishna in different places, but then their personal life is horrible. Hardly get up in the morning, they're into intoxications, they're into some other, womanizing and all of that. So there is no point. So rasa, basically what that person is doing, he is taking rasa from material enjoyment only and thinking that this rasa I have got from Krishna consciousness. So never jump to any next step level. First, continue practicing swadu swadu pade pade. You will. And the first beginning to understand my interest in Krishna consciousness is, or my understanding, my interest, whether Krishna is reciprocating or not, or whether I am really getting interested in Krishna consciousness or not. The first indication is that we regularly hear Krishna Katha enthusiastically. Whenever and wherever there is opportunity, we are happy to hear Krishna Katha. Like, it is the first step to understand that I am getting interest in Krishna consciousness. If you are not interested, like our Siddhantru dropped everything and he was sitting in Bhagwatam. Right? So why was that? Because of his interest. That shows that yes, I have interest in him. But we have interest instead of Krishna Katha, we are somewhere else. Or we are trying to find some other engagement. That means we are trying to derive rasa still in Mata. Yes, Tejas.
प्रभूजी माझा क्वेश्चन थोडा ऑड आहे बट आता परीक्षित महाराजांना श्राप मिळालेला ही न्यू वेन ही वॉज गोइंग टू लिव्ह वेन ही विल हॅव टू लिव्ह द बॉडी. तर प्रभूजी असं म्हणतात की जो श्राप आपल्याला मिळतो या फ्रॉम डिव्होटीज एस्पेशली तो एक बून सारखा असतो, ब्लेसिंग सारखा असतो. तर प्रभूजी ते तर परीक्षित महाराज होते. प्रभू आर वी वर्थ दॅट कर्स करंट कलियुगाची की वी नो वेन वी आर गोइंग टू डाय and then we'll do just like Parikshit Maharaj? Is there a possibility?
Parikshit Maharaj, and we are not very fortunate that we will come to know that we are going to die. Another important thing is that if anybody, any Tom, Dick, Harry, or like in Marathi there is a saying that Kavlacha Sapani Guru Maharaj. If somebody is coming and giving sharp, that is not going to work. If some devotee is cursing you, who is very elevated, first of all, he will not curse because Vaishnava is compassionate. Unless and until he is arranging he is praying for you in some way by which you are going to get elevated, then he is a Vaishnava obviously, and he is a senior super pure devotee. If he is doing, that is good. So first, I told first thing that we are not so fortunate that we will get some curse that within these many days we are going to die. Because they know that as soon as we come to know that I am going to die in 7 days, we'll surely go for pizza, burger, or whatever is our favorite. And then we'll try to collect some money, arrange for some fun, arrange for something. And that's why it is not for us. It is only for Parikshit Maharaj who was qualified, who was going to be absorbed. Second thing is about that any Tom, Dick, and Harry comes and curses you, nothing is going to happen. Because in Kali Yuga, the curses doesn't work. Secondly, if some pure devotee is going to pray, which is not very favorable for you, and something wrong is to happen or something inauspicious to happen, that is obviously for the auspiciousness, for the betterment, for your own benefit. And they are very compassionate Vaishnava. They will not unnecessarily do anything. Okay. So there is no need to speculate in this direction. Okay, Tejas? Tejas, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any other question? आइए थोड़ा बात करते हैं. Okay, so we never tired of hearing the transcendental pastime of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by the hymns and prayer. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastime at every moment. So gopis, when they were in Vrindavan, and Krishna had already left Vrindavan, and then Krishna said, soon I'm going to come back. So gopis were so much in separation from Krishna that they would go to the situation where they would die. But they didn't die. That was a situation that they were unconscious, that the separation is unbearable, and then thinking that I'll leave this world. But then they're continuing to live. Why? Two things. One, the promise of Krishna that I'll come back. That was keeping them. And second, medicine, or second thing, which was giving great interest to them, was the remembrance of Krishna's pastime. And what they would do, suddenly they enact the pastime of Krishna. Suddenly, some one gopi would become like a Bhagwatam, another gopi would become like a Krishna, and then other gopis would support her by taking a seat like Gopamitra. And then Nanda, Yashoda, everybody sitting under the umbrella of that Govardhan. So they would enact. Suddenly they are in forest and they would perform that pastime. Or suddenly somebody will come and then they'll make that, the Yandiwala, what is it? Manora, and then they'll do Makhan Chori or something. So this Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanapi Vamshi Priyasati, when it is said, where it is said?
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita, last.
It talks about the spiritual world, which is about Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanapi Vamshi Priyasati. What they do is all about the activity, the pastime, or enact, or performing Natika, singing the glory. What we saw in Damodar Leela, what was Yashodamai doing? Krishna was nicely sleeping. She got up in a Brahma Muhurta that she wanted to give nice special milk from the Padmaganda cow and make some nice butter and feed to Krishna. But what was she doing there was very important. She was playing musical instruments in the early morning, and she was churning the butter. What was the musical instrument she was playing while churning the butter?
Her bangles.
Yeah. Her bangles acted like a musical instrument. And was she just playing a musical instrument? No. She was singing the pastime of Krishna. So if you see the old ladies, even if they are making, a chakki pisare, or if they are doing any housework, they would sing nice bhajans or kirtans. So similarly, she was churning the butter and singing the glory of God. So what they are doing is nothing different what we have to do. If somebody sings that, मुझे क्या करना है कृष्ण की लीला में? कौन सी लीला में भाग लेना है? You have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
So you have to do kirtan here also, there also. But to do the perfect kirtan there, what you have to do is to become perfect here. You have to do perfect in your reading, you have to be perfect on hearing, you have to be perfect in our kirtan. That's very, very important. Then only we can be qualified to be there in that particular league. Does that answer your question, sir? Okay. So we never tire. So who was this? Who is saying we are never tired? Sages. You have heard the sages? क्या नाम है sages का?
Shonaka Devi.
Shonaka Rishis. Okay. Got to be very regular. तो शौनक ऋषि जो है यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं. What were they doing? गोविंदा? So you are the Shaunak Rishi. They were hearing lecture. No? Before that, what were they doing? Sham? Yes. Soham, what were the Shaunak Rishis came for? Where are they, by the way? Where are they sitting? Who wants to go to that place where Shaunak Rishis are sitting?
Naimisharanya.
I'm going to Naimisharanya. Cool. Naimisharanya is the place. Naimisharanya, Nimisha Kshetre. What happened? They assembled for what? Krishna, now you say, for what they assembled?
For
Shaunak Rishis assembled in Naimisharanya for
performing auspicious sacrifice.
performing yajna. It went on for many, many months. Their bodies had become black. And when the Sutta Goswami appeared there, he came there, they requested him to speak, answer the question. They asked him to sit on a Vyasasana. Why they chose Sutta Goswami?
Because he was the most qualified person, and at the same time, he is also known as the parrot of Radharani.
Very wrong. Sutta Goswami is not the parrot of Radharani.
Sorry. No. Sorry. But he was the most qualified person.
No, that is also not right.
He heard directly from Sukha Goswami.
Because he heard this message directly from the Sukadev Goswami, that he makes him qualified. And Sukadev Goswami is the parrot of Radharani. And Sukadev Goswami was very much qualified to speak Srimad Bhagwatam in, what is that place name? What is the place name where Sukadev Goswami spoke Bhagwatam? Hare Krishna, पुढचा माग, पुढचा पाठ, मागचा पाठ.
On the banks of the Ganges, no?
Bank of the Ganges. Bank of Ganges starts from Gangotri and it goes to Gangasagar. Which bank?
हाँ फिर उसी के बीच में एक place है. I'm not able to remember.
चांगली हवा आहे. Even Google cannot tell. Obviously, it will tell.
Bank of Ganges सांगितलेलं आहे ब्रोजी. नाव कुठं सांगितलं
हाँ exactly. I mean, name is there obviously, but unless and until whatever we have read, it is banks of
Necessarily
आपने सिखाया नहीं.
something proper. And don't support something which is not complete. Correct. शुक्रतारा नहीं, शुक्रताल. पढ़ना भी नहीं आता यार, कॉपी करने के लिए भी पढ़ते. कॉपी भी करना नहीं आता. शुक्रतारा. ध्रुव तारा सुना था, अभी शुक्रतारा कहा. शुक्रताल. So this is a place if you travel from Haridwar to Delhi. In between it comes Shukhatal. Very nice place. Now also they have Kathalo there. So it is Shukhatal and second is Naimisharanya. Who spoke in Shukhatal to whom? Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And who spoke in Naimisharanya?
Suta Goswami to Shaunakadi Rishis.
Why did they choose Naimisharanya to perform Yajna? Siddhant, the Siddhant temple. Yes, Rishikesh, why did they choose Naimisharanya to perform Yajna? Get back to
Prabhuji,
speak if you know.
also works. That also. I'll just share you.
I mean, obviously, it is an auspicious activity. So, Naimisharanya is an auspicious
Speak
place,
if you know.
logically speaking. Sorry, I don't.
So say I don't know. No need to laugh. It's for everyone. I'm very surprised. We have discussed about this so many times, and when we discussed about this, we did discuss about this. Why they chose this place?
It is the
No point going ahead.
It is the center of the world.
World.
Or the universe. Means something like related to this we spoke
It
about.
is the hub of the universe.
Yes.
Yes. Naimisharanya. The center of it. This particular universe, the center is Naimisharanya. And then we discussed about the center of this earth also. Where is that place? When I was discussing about the center of the universe, that is Naimisharanya. Where is the place which is the center of the earth? When I said that, gila, like this was a reaction.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, you can always.
Is it Ujjain?
Not at all. It is Nirasimhapur. Okay, and then we discussed also that there was a Matha of Narad Muni where Prahlad Maharaj, when Kayadu was kidnapped, then Hiranyakashipu went for Yajna. So that time, see if you take Mayapur nahi, Nirasimhapur, इथे पंढरपूरच्या बाजूला. So point is, if we take interest in hearing Krishna Katha, we will remember all of this. If we don't, because we are not taking interest in hearing Krishna. Swadu Pade Pade is not. Either we are taking it, it's an intellectual exercise for the brain, or we are just taking we here for the sake of being here. Because we did discuss about all of this. Right? Remember? You are excited. I remember that. I remember very well. So that is the Matha where Narad Muni took Kayadu. When Kayadu was kidnapped by Devatas, he told Indra not to take Kayadu because there is a great Mahabhagavad in her womb. And then after that, Narad Muni took Kayadu to her ashram and gave Bhagavad Katha to Kayadu. And who was hearing? Kayadu was sleeping. But inside the womb of Kayadu, Prahlad Maharaj was that is that ashram of Narad Muni at Nirasimhapur, where all this is. This is the center of this. Okay? Yes. Please remember, my dear. पूरा लगता है. Okay, so let's go to verse number 20. Oh, let's read the purport quickly.
There is a great difference between mundane story, fiction, or history, and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The histories of the whole universe contain references to the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are the histories of bygone ages recorded the connection with the pastimes of the incarnation of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated reading. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagwatam repeatedly throughout his whole life and yet find them in a new light of information. Mundane, mundane views is static, but transcendent views is dynamic. As much as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static, those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narrations. One is quickly satiated by mundane activities, but no one is satiated by transcendental or devotional activities. Uttam Shloka indicates that literature which is not meant for nuisance. Mundane literature is in the mode of darkness or ignorance, where transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and its light becomes more luminous with progressive reading and realization of the transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated person are never satisfied by the repetition of the word Aham Brahmasmi. Such artificial realization of the Brahman becomes hackneyed and so relish real pleasure, they turn to narrations of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are not so fortunate turn to altruism and worldly philanthropy. This means the Mayavad philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental.
Prabhupada is talking about how there is a mundane literature and then there is spiritual literature. So interestingly, there are mundane literatures like Kadambari, novels, you can say. So every novel has one topic. Like, there is a novel which is horror, or there are some novels which are romantic, or there are some laughter, or there are some novels which are, some another confusing kavalkisco, suspense. There are some novels which are suspense. But Vasudeva has written two novels, Ramayana and Mahabharata. It has romance, it has violence, it has a suspense, it has horror, it has everything. So one, all in one. That is how the novel. You don't have to write a separate novel for that. And that's why when it is said that Vasudeva has written these scriptures, they are perfect in one. So those scriptures will always bring relish. I happened to read, I was reading Mahabharata some time back. It was such amazing. And don't read. There are so many scriptures like this. You can just go on reading. Yesterday, we read the Putana Lila. Right, Sam? It was such a relishable. Though we have heard Pastime of Krishna so many times, but it was such a relishable. So the point is that this Krishna consciousness or these pastimes of Krishna are very, very relishable. Always, they are never satiated, they are always pleasure giving. Okay, any question? These sages are only speaking. Sages are asking questions. Now, Sutta Goswami is not speaking anything. Sages are asking questions. Sages are saying that we, like this the word what is used here in the translation, we never tired. We are never tired of hearing this part. So, sure, Sonakar Sages are saying that we are not tired of hearing. We are relishing it very much. Like if you read Journey Home, in the Journey Home, you see there is an example of Ram Sevak song, who would every day hear the same pastime. They would hear Ramayana continuously because he was devotee of Lord Ram continuously. And as soon as Maharaj went there and Maharaj was sitting, Lord Ram inspired him from within and said that this he is a devotee of Krishna. So you should just narrate him Krishna Lila. So 7 days Maharaj went. He was giving class in Hindi. Maharaj was just understanding the words and understanding the pastime. And every day he narrated Damodar Lila to Maharaj. And all 7 days Maharaj heard Damodar Lila. When Maharaj writes that though he was a devotee of Lord Ram, every day he would describe the pastime of Krishna. So 7 days, same pastime they are saying. Still it's relishable, it's palatable. So there are, like, I have been hearing from Maharaj for the last 22 years now. And whenever he describes Chaitanya Lila, his specialty is whenever he describes the pastime, you get into it. That pastime, you become a part of that pastime completely. And he has described those pastime like Shiva Sangan, I have heard from him at least 20 times. And he must have spoken at least 50, 100 times the Leela of Shiva. But whenever he speaks, it is really simple. Whenever he, so the Krishna Leela coming out of mouth of pure devotee or great devotee, great practitioner of Krishna consciousness is very realistic. And that's why we have to take great interest in this. If you take interest in this, mundane interest will surely go down. Because that is not at all beneficial. Some violence, some suspense, some romance, some crazy things of this world, some politics of this world is not going to benefit us anything. In fact, it is going to degrade us. It is going to degrade our consciousness. But these pastimes are going to elevate our consciousness. They are going to be permanently, registered in our brain, heart, and they are going to be very much beneficial. And that's why we have to take great interest in. Nowadays, so there is a lot of mugha, lot of freedom given for news, some other shorts and reels, and sometimes devotees go for movies and this and that. But those days, after Srila Prabhupada's no time, devotees are not knowing anything of what is happening in this world. Like Maharaj happened to give a pravachan in 1980, 181, 82 in America. He started a youth preaching event, he used to go to college. And he said in recent war of Vietnam, we saw that there was so much crisis. And people started laughing. Because Maharaj had heard about the Vietnam War in 1960, 66, 65, there was some Vietnam War that time. He heard those news at those time when he was young, very young. And why he heard? Because they were pulling, all the American boys were pulled into a war. And that's why he knew about the Vietnam War. After 10, 12, 15 years, he's speaking about the recent war in Vietnam. How the people were pulled and this and that. People started laughing because they were not knowing anything what is happening in India. I still remember in the initial so many days, we were not knowing who is the CM or PM of India or Maharashtra. We were not at all. We were not knowing what is happening in the world. After Corona, things have changed. Too much of not awareness. This is not making you aware. Actually, this is very scary. This is a very signal which is telling us that we are not doing very much in favorable situation. So we have to take great interest in this scripture, these spiritual novels, these spiritual books, by which our consciousness is educated. Otherwise, we are not so great that by collecting a lot of garbage, we are going to still remain Krishna conscious. We are just not doing nothing but collecting garbage. And that's why we should take less interest in mundane activities and take more interest in spiritual activities. Otherwise, our life is going to go well. Okay? So, yes.
I have a question from 17. That Lord is a different incarnations of unlimited categories. Concerning Lord Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prabhupada, Vyasa are his material qualitative incarnations. What is this material qualitative incarnation?
See, they are not supreme Lord. But
Question का होता Prabhuji?
Huh?
What was his question?
Oh, sorry. So where is this exactly?
This is the last paragraph, third line.
The last paragraph of third line, of the 17th verse, so talks about incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Pruthu, Vyasa are his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Lord Rama, Narasimha, Varaha. So he's asking, what is this material qualitative incarnation? So they are not the Supreme Lord, or they also are the living entities who have received Shakti. Like Pruthu Maharaj was Shaktavesh avatar, he had received Shakti, or Vyasadeva. He is not a supreme person, but he is a Sahipik avatar. That is the scriptural incarnation, or the incarnation of a scripture, because he wrote all the scriptures. Or similarly, the Manu, like there are so many Manus who are the supreme main persons of mankind, main people. Like there is this Manu Samhita which comes from Manu. So they are the main people of Manu who are guiding all the Manu. So they have this special Shakti which they have received. When Srila Prabhupada falls into the category of Sattva. So
they are not Avtara. Is it like empowered?
Yes, they are empowered personality. They are empowered. Like Pruthu Maharaj case, last time we discussed in detail how Earth was not providing anything, So Prithu Maharaj got angry, but then because of Prithu Maharaj's auspicious activity, she started providing. So because of Prithu Maharaj being so powerful and empowered, or who had received a Shakti from Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that's why this is translated here as the Shaktavis Avatar is translated here as material qualitative incarnations. So we will stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Krishna Katha ki Jai.
Jai.
To get more interest in Krishna Katha, we have started daily reading of our Krishna book till Janmashtami and Prabhupada Lila we are hearing. Some devotees are taking great interest on a daily basis. I thank them. And some devotees have no interest to come at all. So I request them to come regularly because this is for your benefit. Okay. So every evening, 8:30 to 9:10. Yesterday we were on bike, but when we were still hearing, and as soon as I reached here, we connected. So I'm trying my best.
Question on the
Just one. Till now, I have just missed one because I was on travel from Mumbai. There was no range, so I could not connect. But the rest of the time, I have tried my best to be there throughout enthusiastically reading and hearing from all of you. So similarly, all of you also can help me by being very enthusiastic and reading, hearing Krishna book so that our consciousness is nice. Yes, Tejasvi.
Prabhuji, Yashoda mother, she looked at Krishna as her child only. So was it her pure love for him that made her remember his Leela, or she had some sense ki no, he is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why did she remember Krishna Leela?
Like
She could have remembered other Leela of
I got it.
any other avatar, Narsimha or any other. So why Krishna only? Why not other avatars?
Okay. There are two questions which you are asking. First, I'll tell you, clarify. In Krishna Lila, when Yashodamai was there, like we see this Brahmanda Darshan Lila. In Brahmanda Darshan, she saw Krishna's mouth full with all the Brahmandas. And then she said, oh, this is not nothing but my Vishnu. He's not my child, he's the Vishnu who appeared here. But then Krishna made her forget everything with the potency of Yogamaya. So Krishna made her forget, and then immediately she embraced Krishna. She started kissing Krishna like her own child. So Yogamaya is always acting, and she's always making Brajavasis forget that particular thing. Though Brajavasis know very well that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that particular thing is overpowered with love, or that is covered with love. So love is so powerful. For that, we generally give example of Modi ji or Pradhan Mantri or any position people hold. When the Pradhan Mantri Modi ji goes to his home in front of his mother, mother doesn't worship him like a Prime Minister of India. She always kisses him or blesses him or whatever, like a child. So is it that she doesn't know that he is Pradhan Mantri? She knows, but the love has overpowered everything. Love has covered all of that. So love is so powerful thing that it can cover all the official positions of Krishna being supreme or Vishnu being supreme, or he's Achintya, or he's Ajanma, or he's this, he's that, all those qualities. Even after knowing that, it says separate. So that is your first question, whether it was love. Yes, it was just love which covered everything. Now you're asking about the second question, why only Krishna? Why no other avatars? So when it comes to Nanda Yashoda, Devaki Vasudev, Radharani, Gopis, Gopal, they are the eternal associates of the Lord. Like Hanuman is the eternal associate of Lord Ram. He will take interest in pastime of Lord Ram only. He will not come and take first interest in any Krishna Lila. He's jumping around Krishna, or he's lifting some. He himself is lifting Govardhan for Krishna. Nothing like that. When he's in Hanuman, he will lift on which Parvat? Don't like that. No, no. And then, which Parvat he lifted and got the Sanjeevi? Mandar. What is that? Okay, anyway, not Mandar. So that's what these associates are, eternal associates, and they always take part accordingly. So other pastimes, there are different associates, they take pastime of interest accordingly. So they were in spiritual world, they came with Krishna back to spiritual world. a material world, they went back with Krishna to spiritual world. So that is about this eternal Nitya Siddhants. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
आपको कुछ पूछना है?
रामायण होता है
हाँ, संजीवनी लिखे आए थे.
द्रोणागिरी होता है
नंदन, हाँ, सब specific नहीं है. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Online devotees are requested to always put on their videos so that we can see your. Yeah, very good. ठीक है, thank you. Hare Krishna. Krishna, where are you, Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So.